Coming up on the 4-minute mark until launch. Four minutes until launch. Countdown proceeding normally. A video feed of the countdown and what you're seeing on NASA television is being sent up to the crew on board the International Space Station. The station currently flying over northern Iran, about to cross the Caspian Sea. Propellant drain back has been completed. We're standing by for the pressurization of the propellant tanks. Two minutes, 45 seconds until launch. Two minutes, 15 seconds. The booster's propellant tanks have been pressurized, standing by for the termination of the ground propellant feed and the vehicle being switched to internal power. Coming up on the 1-minute mark until launch. No issues being reported down in Baikonur. The vehicle is now on internal power. The next step will be the retraction of the first of the two umbilicals buttressed up against the Soyuz 2.1A booster. There's the separation of the first of the two umbilicals. The second umbilical now retracted, initiating the launch sequence, standing by for engine launch commanding. We have engine start. Turbo pumps up to flight speed. And liftoff. We have liftoff of the Progress resupply ship heading into the express lane bound for the International Space Station. Roll, pitch, and yaw program reported in good shape from the blockhouse down in Baikonur. Good vehicle stabilization. 45 seconds into the flight, engine chamber pressures are nominal. Yaw pitch and roll is nominal. This is animation based on telemetry being received back at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov. The flight is reported to be nominal. The vehicle passing now through maximum dynamic pressure. Parameters are normal on the vehicle. Good engine chamber pressures. All engines are in nominal shape according to the blockhouse in Baikonur as we come up on the 1 minute 30-second mark into the flight. The Soyuz booster and the Progress resupply craft traveling at 2,800 miles per hour, 15 miles downrange, an altitude of some 6.5 statute miles. And first stage separation is confirmed. The Soyuz booster's guidance system is now targeting for a precise window in space. The International Space Station has actually passed the Progress at this point en route to its nominal orbit as the Progress now is chasing the International Space Station. Coming up on the 2 minute 45-second point into the flight, we'll be standing by for shroud jettison that will expose the Progress vehicle to the dynamics of space travel. And we have launch shroud jettison confirmed. The vehicle is reported to be very stable, good engine performance. Coming up on the 3.5 minute mark into the flight. Stage 2 engine is working as advertised. The Soyuz booster traveling over 6,000 miles an hour, 66 miles in altitude, 125 miles downrange from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. The second stage engine on the Progress booster, the Soyuz 2.1A booster, is operating normally. We are expecting second stage shutdown at about the 4 minute 47-second mark into the flight. Pitch, yaw, and roll performance is good. Very stable vehicle reported by flight controllers. Coming up on the 4 minute 45-second mark into the flight, standing by for second stage shutdown. And we have second stage shutdown. Third stage is burning. The third stage on the Soyuz booster will operate for about 4 minutes until it delivers the Progress into its preliminary orbit at the 8 minute 45-second mark into the flight. And again, at the time of third stage shutdown and spacecraft separation, the Progress will be about 1,000 miles behind the International Space Station. The station will be traveling 258 statute miles over southeastern Russia at that point, just north of its border with Mongolia. 5 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight, 3 minutes of powered flight remaining, everything looking great. The third stage engine continues to burn as advertised. No issues reported. Coming up on the 6.5 minute mark into the flight. The Soyuz booster and its Progress cargo ship traveling almost 12,000 miles an hour, 120 miles in altitude, 587 miles downrange from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. Seven minutes into the flight, 1 minute 45 seconds of powered flight remaining. Third stage engine continues to fire normally. Good vehicle stabilization reported. Just a few seconds after the Progress separates from the third stage, the automatic command will be issued to deploy its solar arrays and navigational antennas as it begins a quick two-orbit journey to reach the International Space Station this evening. Seven minutes, 45 seconds into the flight, 1 minute of powered flight remaining. The Soyuz booster is rock steady according to the flight controllers. About 15 seconds of powered flight remaining. The Soyuz booster and the Progress traveling more than 17,000 miles an hour. Standing by for third stage shutdown and spacecraft separation, which we now have. Spacecraft separation is confirmed. Standing by for confirmation of solar array and navigational antenna deploy. And now we have confirmation that all of the structures have deployed normally. Solar arrays and navigational antennas are out. A perfectly normal ascent. Third time was a charm as the Soyuz booster lifted off on time at 4:51 and 34 seconds p.m. Central Time, 3:51 and 34 seconds a.m. in Baikonur on Tuesday morning. An 8-minute 45-second ride to deliver the Progress resupply craft and almost 3 tons of food, fuel, and supplies into its preliminary orbit. Now the chase begins to catch up to the International Space Station. Docking now is scheduled just 3 hours and 37 minutes from now at 8:39 p.m. Central Time. There's our first view from the external television camera on the Progress. You'll be seeing that again later this evening when the Progress arrives in the vicinity of the International Space Station. Both the Progress and the station are currently flying over eastern Russia, about to begin a northwest to southeast trajectory that will carry it over both craft over the Japanese island chain and out over the North Pacific. The values that you're seeing on the screen from the engineering overlay on the external camera on the Progress craft, in the lower left-hand corner, you see two values, km and meters per second in Cyrillic. That will ultimately show the distance between the Progress and the Pirs docking compartment, its ultimate destination on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, and the meters per second will ultimately reflect its rate of closure for contact and capture. Once again, you're looking at a view from a balcony camera that is mounted over the large flight control room at the Russian Mission Control Center in the town of Korolyov on the outskirts of Moscow. Russian flight controllers there, now in control of the rest of the mission of the Progress vehicle for its planned automated docking to the Pirs docking compartment on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the station. That docking is scheduled less than 3.5 hours from now. That'll wrap up our launch coverage. A perfect launch. Third time was a charm to place the Progress resupply vehicle into a 2-orbit rendezvous profile. It will reach the station within the next few hours. We'll be back on the air at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for our docking coverage, with link up of the Progress to the Pirs docking compartment planned at 8:39 p.m. Central, 9:39 p.m. Eastern Time. For now, that'll wrap up our coverage. This is Mission Control Houston.